Hello, everybody. Still getting coordinated with the social channels here, but let me just type in my video, my message. Okay, I'm still getting coordinated here with Instagram, and we're going to do it the old-fashioned way again. That seems to work better. So, in just a minute. There we go. All right. This is going to be so much better. Okay, there we go. The technology here is not my forte. This kind of technology. Anyways, thanks for your patience and welcome as we have the bells tolling the hour. So, that's just life. And as always, we just reorient, we stay centered. Hey, Kayla, and just come into our breath, our bodies, our center alignment. And the best we can do to move through these kinds of things and really staying aware of our center, aware of our where we are physical, our physical beings and where we are and in the environment that we're in and staying aware of that as we go through all that. So here we have it. And this is work in practice or practice work in progress, right? And practice. So anytime. Hey, Karen, thanks for joining. Karen, yeah, I hope I said your name right. Anyways, welcome. So let's all get settled in, get reoriented towards just taking that moment for ourselves to connect with ourselves, to just put everything else aside, breathe in deep. So start by focusing on your breath. And just take a minute to just slow everything down. Notice your breath. And sometimes when I do that, I like to exhale out. There's just kind of a release that happens when you exhale out and kind of make a noise, a sound. You can make a really good sound if you want, or just a little sigh. And just when you take this, when you just take a sigh, kind of like, and your whole body just relaxes. So taking that moment to allow yourself to relax a little bit more deeply, come a little bit more centered in yourself. And if you were like me, as I was trying to get coordinated with Instagram, we kind of tend to pull up when we're on the computer, when we're doing technical stuff. A lot of us, that's very typical. So you might notice that as you relax down, as you kind of really start to pay attention to your breath, you kind of feel yourself just kind of coming down, which is good in a good way because it's your energy gets pulled up, and so it's just bringing it back to where your physical body is. And for some people, so they get really pulled out of their bodies, and so that's even more important to take that time to connect with this piece, this physical body that you have, because this is your home, this is your house, your being, is right here. So just gonna help everybody anchor in a little bit more strongly. And for those of you who are new, I tend to jerk around when there's shifting going on. and noticing a little fear coming up. So just breathe into that. If you just kind of notice there's a little fear, trepidation, nervousness, anxiety, anything along those lines, just kind of notice it. We'll work a little bit more specifically on that in a minute. Feel whatever it is that you're sitting on. So if you're sitting on a chair, notice the chair. Even kind of touch it if you want and look at it. Look at it and feel yourself looking at what you're sitting on, touching what it is that you're touching. Notice the pressure of your body on the cushion, or if it's a hard seat, on the hard seat, whatever it is. I'm sitting on a cushion, so I'll say the word cushion. And feel your weight of your body coming down, and there's kind of like, if you're sitting on the chair, there's your body coming down and the chair pushing up against you. So there's this kind of balance and counterbalance there. Notice what you're wearing. Notice the clothes. Notice that touch on your skin. Yeah, there. We're already starting to get a little bit more present, a little lighter. Just releasing that anxiety. It's shifted out some, so that's very nice. Yeah. There we go. And feeling whatever you're sitting on, it's connected to the floor, it's connected to the building. The building is sitting on the earth. And feel that connection to the earth that you always have. If you're flying or if you're up in the air, it's maybe just energetic, but that gravity is still there. You have to go pretty far out to get out of the gravity zone there. So there's always that gravity that's holding you connected to the earth. Energetically, you're connected to the earth. And physically, with whatever you're sitting on, and if you're sitting directly on the earth, that's great. That's even more direct. But through whatever it is you're sitting on, through the building's sitting on the dirt, on the earth, on the surface. Feel that connection. Feel that earth just there with you, just anchoring you in, pulling you in. Oh, and let your mind kind of just drop down to kind of feel it just kind of dropping down to the core of the earth. As you drop down, and connect in to the core of the earth, breathing into that core for a moment. And that connection to the core is like this anchor line that's got you connected, that's got you, it's like that when the boats dock, they tie themselves to that, or they drop the anchor if they're not docked, and that anchor holds them in place, holds the boat in place. So you might the boat might shift off with the current, but that anchor doesn't let it go far off. It just keeps it there, so it'll come back to that point. So same thing in life, that connection to your body, to the core of the earth, holding you steady, giving you that stability, even when that current of life just kind of like pulls you off, It can't ever pull you too far off. And then whenever you're ready, doesn't have to be right when I say it, but whenever you're ready, you can if you want to. On your next inhale, just feel yourself as you inhale, pulling all the frequencies, all the energies of the earth, that grounding energy up through that connection, grounding cord, your pedestal, whatever you use, coming up through into your body, pulling all the way through your body. If you have your feet on the floor, going through your feet and legs first, into your torso, into your arms, into your head, neck and head. And if you're sitting cross-legged, it's that whole legs and pelvic area all at once coming up. If you're lying down, it's your back, filling up your spine and spreading out from there. And pulling it all the way through the top. Yeah, there we go. The top of your head. Let's expand that out. And then coming back into your awareness, into your chest, into your breathing, and just kind of bring your awareness, noticing the breath, with your and noticing the movement of your upper torso with your breath. And let's open up that. Yeah, just kind of opening up people. Some of you are like a little pulled in, which is usually, you know, well, that can connect to a lot of things. Anxiety's coming up today, so there's maybe a little bit of anxiety floating in the group here. So giving you a little bit more space. Also that can happen if we have a lot of brightness, or we're kind of like a bright light around, and those that are around us aren't so bright. There's going to be this tendency to crowd the light, like moths to the light, and so that can feel crowded if we're not really good at holding our space, holding that space, which is arm's length out. Can't see the edge of my fingers there, but putting your arms to either side, fingers stretched out, feel it like that's out to the tip of your fingers a little further, but focusing on the tips of your fingers there. That's your space. Up above too. So you can kind of reach out and get a sense of that around you. That's your space. If something is coming into it, I mean, it is coming in, and then it's the question of what are you doing to allow that. So sometimes we're not really good with boundaries, with holding our space. Hi, Michael. Thanks for joining. And so becoming aware of that, okay, if it's anything closer, you're allowing, oops, confirmation code. Oh my God, this is asking me for a confirmation code in the middle of this. Sorry. um, all right, coming back. And we get distracted. So as I'm doing this, what I'm doing is, nope. What I'm actually doing is I'm paying attention to my body. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with the Instagram to decide to check to see if I get a confirmation code on me while I'm doing this. Is being aware of my body, even as I'm thinking through this. So I'm not sure what happened with Instagram there. Maybe it's still playing, I can't tell. So taking a deep breath in, just recentering, just coming back into center. and feeling that connection. And boy, Instagram just doesn't want to, okay, does not want to cooperate with me. Okay. So we'll just continue on with just, sorry about that, Instagram. Get back to that another time. Coming into center, feeling the breath, being being present with whatever's happening. So we get thrown off with life. So back to boundaries. Anything is coming in closer to us than arm's length out. So there can be this pushing in, and we need to push back out to that. And sometimes we're just used to just being closer in when we've been more kind of quiet, more kind of reserved, more keeping our distance. Some kids grow up that way, and so we learn to have smaller, being kind of more internal. And that's fine to be internal. That's not the issue. The issue is is having a sense of that's our boundary and holding strong with that. So feeling that edge out there, being centered in your space, feeling the edge of your body, your skin, and arm's length out without extending out, without letting ourselves like float out. You can be aware. It's like looking across the room. You can be aware of that and still be staying inside your body, kind of thing. So come into that center. Let's practice that. Come into that center. Just kind of feel yourself just really pulling in to like that. This little line that's going straight through your core essence, running straight through the center of your body. And then around that, that's in the center of your body. So around that, centered in all directions, is the outline of your body, your skin, your whole body, and extending out from that to get a sense of that. Kind of run through your whole body, top of your head, back, face. Ah, neck, your shoulders, arms, your sides, your front, your back, all the way down, your legs, bottoms of your feet. Have a sense of all that. And then just kind of like peripheral, I call it peripheral awareness, is just have a sense, staying right here, have a sense of that arm's length out. If you can stay with that sense right here, and just kind of put one finger here, so kind of keeping focused in arms out, arm out, one arm out, fingertips, bring it back here. Have a sense of that space around you that's arm's length out. Breathing into that, staying centered, keeping yourself right there. You can also do that by feeling that center again and connecting with the space around you by, looking at what's around you, but staying, really staying in your body, staying present in your body. Very good. And feeling yourself slowing down as you come more present with yourself and slowing down because that mind is not rattling away. And just kind of closing your eyes for a minute, really come center. Still feeling your body, being aware of your body in the space that you are. Coming in strong, coming into that core, holding that. Whatever's going on around you, seeing if you can hold that strongly for yourself. And opening that space up again a little bit for people. Even just doing that just helps to really clear out that, creates that boundary because you're becoming very aware of yourself and you, and saying, "This is my space, this is me." Coming into that deeper alignment with yourself. So when I say deeper alignment with yourself, that's deeper alignment with human spirit alignment. And that's clearing, helping to clear out anything that's not you from your space. And coming in, and also what comes up is you might start to notice when you really connect in very deeply and you're very much present with yourself in the moment, in this space, might feel just this silence that kind of comes through, this stillness, kind of the stillness, that present moment. And feeling that stability and strength that you really can only have when when you're clearly aligned with your spirit. And there are times it will happen automatically. You're not thinking about it, or you're not taking the time to really connect in. Kind of situations like emergencies where you just go boom. You got to get out. Whatever. Things like zip lining can be a way where you just let go and you come into that alignment and you're right there present. And there's this strength and stability that comes through, and steadiness. It's quiet, this rest. You can even get to this place of this joy that starts to come through also. Yeah, very nice. It's also a nice way to like end the day so that you get better sleep too, because you're really coming into yourself. You're pushing everything out of your mind from the day, and you can really relax into your being. So, very nice. Yeah, kind of crazy beginning, crazy all of a sudden in the middle of, but that's okay. Things that current can of life can take us, can, shift the boat off. But that anchoring into ourselves, to that connection, always bring us back to where we need to be. Bring us back into that alignment, back into ourselves. We might get off a little bit, and sometimes we can get off a lot, but as long as we have that anchor, we'll come right back. Yeah, very nice. So I'm really sorry about Instagram there. So let's see if, yeah, they just like, I can't even get into my account. So I will have to take a look at that later, see what their what their issue is. But on this side, with Facebook and YouTube, so if you have any questions, we'll just kind of continue sitting in the space, but you're welcome to post a question here. And I'll just see if there's anything else that comes up to bring up. Hmm. I wanted is I'm going to go back a minute to what I was talking about earlier. I think before I got cut off from Instagram. Uh, there's a way. Some of us grow up in an environment that, for some reason, makes us kind of pull in. And some of that has to do with a lot of uh, uh, a lot of sensitivity to the environment, where we're sensitive to all this information that's coming in, and there's a higher level of awareness, and so that can feel overwhelming, and you pulling back in. So there's this there can be this tendency to energetically pull in, and we don't really want to do that. When we become aware of that, it's kind of, you have to shift your way of being, but it can be, eh, feel at first like you're pushing yourself out, and you're putting yourself out, and you really don't have those sense of the boundaries as you're working through that. So, but it's kind of this combination of things where you have to learn to have your boundaries, have a clear and by having boundaries, it's having a clear sense of, this is me, this is where I am, this is what I'm doing, this is me here, and staying present with that, and at the same time just being able to expand out. So it sounds like I'm saying the opposite here. You're like here, but you're expanding yourself out, instead of pulling yourself in. And usually what happens is because there's a high sensitivity, and you're feeling all this stuff coming in, especially when you have a little kid, maybe you don't have the right environment that's showing you how to do it properly to have that and still be very clear with this is me, this is something else, even if it's like right there. Um, it's this tendency to pull in because to try to pull away from the environment, and that's really not what you want to do. You want to, instead of pulling in away from the environment, you want to become very aware of yourself. So I don't know if that's making too much sense. Kayla, whoa, this grounding and feeling gravity and the outline of my body was exactly what yeah, very floaty today, and this was helpful. Yes, well, and I don't feel like I was very floaty, but with this kind of interruptions, it's coming back into that. So good, yeah. Uh, was that was that what? Okay, not was Sorcy was doing earlier when she was melting down, and yes, that makes total sense. Thanks for the clarity. Um, I can't figure out your question because there's a typo in there. Was that what was that what Sorsa was doing earlier when she was melting down? Yeah, I mean, usually when, well, uh, yeah, that just feels like a disconnect to self, and so there can be a lot of different reasons for that, but just, feeling, pulling in aspect. Well, no, that feels a little different to me. Just feels like wow, she's just got really caught up in something and is can't. It's like she can't pull back into herself. Um, one thing that comes up. I can't remember how old she is. 'Cause I get the two mixed up, but like giving her a big hug to just help her reconnect with her body. And of course, when you do that, is staying very inside your body too. And just, yeah, she's 5. Okay, she's the 5-year-old. Yeah, of just, it's like those thunder shirts for dogs, for dogs that have anxiety. And it's the whole thing. And I think they have that for people too with anxiety, but it's this thing where it's tight on you. So it really has a way of giving you that tactile information of your body. So that's the thing with her. Yeah, I think that would help her. Um, is to just kind of hold her, give her a big hard hug and to hold it really tight, to help her kind of come back in, reconnect. It's like she gets off of herself, is what I'm seeing. So that's very different than pulling in, if that makes sense. Okay, another quiet night, and that's it. So, any more questions? If not, we'll just call it a night. It's a good event with the distractions. It's always kind of funny when we have these distractions because so much of what we see out there. I'm sorry, but you get a lot of these videos and people are seem to have it all laid out, all the lighting. It's like it's getting dark in here because the time has changed. It's getting dark earlier, but I think it's good to see that, walk through the process because this is how life happens. Okay, cool. That explains why I scoop her up and she wants me to let her go and ends up helping. Yeah, yeah. So, okay, good. Yeah, you're right on track. There we go. Good instincts there. All right. Well, thanks for Ilaria. Thank you, Mary. Unfortunately, listening while putting dishes away, taking care of school paperwork for the kids. Well, good for you. Good for you. But I mean, it's like here you are doing your dishes, and so um, that practice of being present with whatever's going on around you. So that's exactly the topic today. So um, good, and it's just the question of as you were listening, being able to stay really centered in yourself, even with all the listing, the putting away the dishes, the paperwork for school. That's the bottom line there. So good for you for listening in because and being here and still going through all this other stuff and because that's how we learn to do it. I mean, you can come in the space, it's nice to provide that nice quiet space, but sometimes life just isn't always like that, is it? So so that's just the question for you today, Laria, is about how present were you able to be with yourself going through all these different activities all the same time, and just practicing with that. So good. All right, so we'll call it a day, and um, thanks for stopping by. Next Wednesday, getting to the end of the September here. So, wow, September. We're getting close to the end of September. Is that amazing? So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you wherever we see you next. Apply for if you're on Monday, and next Wednesday if you're just stopping in for coming in the bean. So thanks for stopping by and being brilliant. Stay brilliant and stay centered in yourself. All right, take care, everybody.